So we are going to make the Ermine Buttercream now in this lesson. I have the butter obviously for buttercream, and you need to cut them into cubes, and it needs to be in the fridge by the time we are ready to use, but we are not going to use it right away in this step. So when you are going to make the first process, which is making a paste. For making the paste we have sugar, that's all purpose flour, and then corn flour together with milk, and there is some salt as well. Now all of this will go into the saucepan, and we are going to make a thick paste. I'm going to show you how the consistency is going to be, and that needs to cool down to room temperature, and then again we'll have to refrigerate to completely have it quite cold, and until then you have the measured butter also in the fridge. We get back in that stage, and then we beat the butter, and then we keep adding the mixture, the cooked paste, and it's all going to come together like a beautiful buttercream. And at that stage we'll be adding the vanilla extract. So for right now at this step I'm not going to use the butter and the vanilla extract. The rest of the ingredients I'm going to use, and I'm going to get the stove and have a saucepan, and into this I'm going to add the dry first, which is the sugar, corn flour, and then the all-purpose flour. And then you want to keep stirring this up until the raw smell from the flour goes off, and you will know that you start getting a flavor and aroma. You don't want the sugar to get cooked as well. So I've reduced the flame by a bit, and I'm just going to keep mixing. Once you start getting the flavor, the smell of the roasted flours out there, you could just start adding the milk. Now it is just taken about on the low flame about 3 to 4 minutes until I just reach this stage, and into that I'm just going to add in the milk. Just mix it up so you don't find any more lumps. I'm just going to switch over to the wire whisk. Into this paste I'm also going to add the salt at this stage, and keep mixing. Now I see no lumps, the lumps are just gone, and I'm just going to continue to cook this until it thickens up. Keep stirring, or it is just going to stick to the bottom of the saucepan, and you might start getting lumps. So keep stirring so you have a smooth paste. So it's thickening up at the moment. So I just want it to be quite thick, because ideally Ermine Buttercream is said to be not quite stable for layering the cakes, but the addition of corn flour is going to aid it to make a very stable Ermine buttercream that we are just going to use for layering, because it is a very tasty buttercream out of all the buttercreams that we have ever made. And but it is always said to be quite unstable, and it just goes with cupcakes ideally. But then I just wanted to include this pretty tasty buttercream in the layering of cakes. So I have altered it in a way that it will suit the layered cakes. So the first thing is to add cornflour, which is just part of the recipe, and you could just follow that. And the second thing is to get the paste quite thick. So as you are going to add it along with the butter, you're just not going to let the buttercream turn runny. So this is the stage it is there, right when you are taking it out of the heat, which is you will be able to see the bottom of the saucepan as you are just trying to make a line, right? And at this stage it is going to thicken up even further. I'm going to transfer this completely into another bowl and allow it to cool down in room temperature, and then further put it in the fridge, and once it is quite cold, it could take about an hour or two, and then we will be ready to use that along with the butter and the vanilla to finish making the Ermine buttercream. I'll get back at that stage. So I have the paste here for the Ermine buttercream. It's pretty cold and quite thick. Okay, so at this stage I have the butter as well, quite firm. You can see with pressure I'm just able to press it so much, and with a wire whisk I'm going to add in the butter in cubes and then allow it to beat. So you can just check on when the cubes are just not there and then the butter softened up. You don't have to wait for long, because then the cold buttercream, it will just start heating up. So now I'll allow this to beat as I keep adding a tablespoon of the paste into it, and wait for everything to come together. Just incorporated all the paste. I'm going to scrape down the sides. And I'm also going to add in the vanilla and then continue beating on medium high speed until it just becomes light and with stiff peaks. See, the butter is just getting paler, and again I just want to scrape down the sides. So it's been about 5 minutes until we have this beater running. So this will aerate the butter with the sugar from the paste, and we just want to smooth it out after this stage. So remove the wire whisk and just clear it up. Scrape down the sides, and I'm just going to change to the paddle attachment so you get a smooth buttercream. And with the paddle, after beating for about 3-4 minutes, you have your Ermine Buttercream ready, which is the stable one. And by this time, if you've used any other regular recipe, it would still be in a very flowy consistency, and that wouldn't allow you to frost and layer a cake. So this is the vanilla Ermine Buttercream. You can see it's like quite stable. If you still find there are air bubbles, just use your spatula and then just smear it up, and then you have all the air bubbles getting removed, and this we will just flavor it in the way we want. So this is the base Ermine Buttercream flavored with vanilla, and you could transfer this into piping bags and use it right away for filling your cakes, or if you're going to use it as a base to flavor it with any other element or components, you could do that. And I suggest to make this right before you are ready to frost, keeping all the other elements ready for layering. And in case you have made it and you want to know how to store it, obviously you could transfer this into another bowl and then surface wrap and then refrigerate it. Now if you're going to use it back again for about an hour in room temperature, and then beat it again using the beater and get it back to the consistency that we've just made, and then it will be ready for you to use. So here we have Ermine Buttercream, and then I will get back on a lesson where I'm going to use this and then layer the cake.